This is the world's shortest YouTube course. Whether you are just starting out or have thousands of subscribers, these next 8 minutes will not only carve the path forward to growing your YouTube channel, but also show you advanced tips that not everyone talks about. So grab a pen, because there has never been such a short, value-packed video that will help grow your YouTube channel with less time by focusing on what's the most important. The first thing you need to understand will put you ahead of 93% of YouTubers, because everyone skips this crucial part. Imagine you are building a house, but you don't have the blueprint. You have absolutely no idea what you're doing, and you're just aimlessly building, hoping that it turns out well. That's what most people do with YouTube. They watch a bunch of videos, come up with some ideas, and start aimlessly creating content and get nowhere. So it is extremely important to have a plan. And in order to create an effective strategy, you need to do 3 things. And the first is something that most YouTubers don't do. This is a circle, and it has every single person who watches YouTube. Within this circle, we have different types of audiences that enjoy watching different things. And let's say this part here is the audience that enjoys watching your content. Well, that circle is the demand for your content. And one simple way to check that is by searching for your niche on YouTube and looking at some of the recent videos' view counts. But why is this so important? Because it helps you set expectations for starting a YouTube channel in that niche. But just knowing demand isn't enough. You need to understand how to actually get people to watch your videos. To do that, there are 3 things you need to understand: their problems and their desires, so you can create content that directly tackles those problems and fulfills those desires. And lastly, their fears, so that you can relate to them. Knowing your audience is key to creating content that your viewers actually want to watch. Lastly, it's also a good idea to come up with some video ideas, but more on that in just a minute, because now that you have a good understanding of your audience and some ideas to get started, you are already ahead of 93% of YouTubers. But it's completely useless if they don't enjoy your content. Imagine that you've got loyal viewers who are drawn to your raw, authentic content, similar to Sam Sulik's style, and then you suddenly change your style to a faster-paced, action-packed style like Mr. Beast. Your loyal viewers who were initially drawn to your channel by your style may be thrown off by this and drift away from your channel over time. Your channel is the bridge between your brand and your audience, and it is extremely important to remain consistent with the brand you are trying to create to retain your audience. But there is a different type of consistency that's also important. Photography professor Jerry Uelsman divided his students into groups A and B. Group A would be graded on the amount of photos they clicked, and Group B would be graded on the excellence of the photos they clicked. With this, he answered the quality versus quantity debate, with the conclusion that quantity results in quality, since some of the best photos that were clicked were actually from Group A, the quantity group. They clicked so many pictures that the practice made them better photographers. And that's exactly why you need to consistently upload, improve, and repeat. This can be an extremely time-consuming process. But before we look into some ways you can speed up your workflow, we need to take a step back and think about some of the initial video ideas you came up with. These ideas would primarily fall into one of 4 categories: education, entertainment, inspirational, or authentic. But your content doesn't have to be 100% of one type only. You can add flavors of other content types as well. There are also other things to consider with your content: your upload frequency, quality, and experimentation with different styles. Now that you understand the type of content you want to create, it's time to actually create that content. But how do you do it in as little time as possible and be as consistent as possible? There are 3 time-saving methods you can use to speed up your workflow. An outstanding idea can set you apart from other creators, but coming up with ideas is hard and takes time, especially if you have to be constantly coming up with new ideas every time you are creating a new YouTube video. So create an idea bank so that when you're ready to start your next video, you never start from a blank page. But how do you actually come up with good ideas so that you stand out? You can take a look at some videos that are in your niche and read some of the comments. Usually there will be some comments related to the desires or problems a person is facing. Make a list of those and repeat the process. You can also use a free extension called 1 of 10, which helps you identify outliers on a certain channel. An outlier is a video that far surpasses a channel's recent performance. So basing your idea off of that can have a higher chance of success. One tip with this is to actually look outside of your niche for outliers, as Colin and Samir have done here. Lastly, think outside of the box. Remember, you need to understand your audience's problems, desires, and fears. So for example, you can just take a look at Reddit to see what problems, desires, and fears people in your niche have. There is a framework that can save you hours of time. But before that, there is one basic human desire that you need to tap into. Otherwise, no one is going to watch your content, even if you have the best idea ever. As Mr. Beast famously says,
if someone doesn't click your video, they're not going to watch.
So it's important to package your video well. Some things to think about Is it eye-catching? Do the colors and elements make the image pop? Is it easy to understand what's going on with just a glance? Does your title complement the thumbnail to guarantee the click? But why is this so important? Because humans are curious. The curiosity from your thumbnail leads to the title, which should spark more curiosity and get you that click. And I strongly suggest coming up with additional ideas for your thumbnail, but more on that later, because it's not over yet. Once the viewer clicks, they're most likely going to click off if you don't understand this framework. To maintain viewer interest, they must be curious throughout your entire video. And by following this curiosity framework, you spend less time structuring your scripts. The idea is to firstly confirm the click by confirming in the first sentence that your video is about exactly what the thumbnail and title say it's about. After that, you need to continuously create curiosity loops such that there is always one unanswered question in the viewer's mind. Because if the viewers aren't curious, they will click off. But even if you have the perfect script, if not executed correctly, the viewers will notice this one thing and click off immediately. When recording yourself for a YouTube video, you need to be confident when talking, because once the viewer notices a lack of confidence, you will lose both credibility and engagement. You can prevent this by practicing, being yourself, and not worrying about what others think, because chances are they don't care. And if you're a faceless channel, focus on your tone and speak clearly and directly, because your audience is only relying on one sense as opposed to two. Depending on your style of content, the edits can either take a very long time or a very long time. So here are some tips to speed up your editing workflow. The first is to ensure that you stay organized so it's easy to go through your editing workflow. Second, make sure to create assets such that you can reuse them easily. I personally have a bunch of infographics that I've created that I can tweak and reuse. Third is to focus on the bigger picture. People are less likely to notice an imperfectly timed transition, so don't waste your time on the smaller details. But editing is only half the picture. The other half is sound design, which is important for many reasons: to evoke emotions, set the mood and tone, and aid the visuals by providing another sensory appeal. If used correctly, sound design can create an immersive experience, tap into your viewers' emotions, and boost your retention. But before you hit that upload button, show someone your video and pay attention to whether they get bored or whether they understand your thumbnail and title. This will let you know about areas of improvement before you upload your video, so that your hours of work aren't wasted. But most people make this mistake after they upload your video. Be patient, go for a walk, or go play with your dog. Give your video time, and afterwards, there are 3 things to consider doing. Firstly, if you're not getting any views, then you may need to use one of those alternative thumbnail ideas you came up with earlier and A/B test your thumbnails to see what works. Second, reply to comments. If someone takes the time to comment on your video, comment back. Third is to stop obsessing over your analytics. You should be spending that time working on consistently creating new content for your channel and providing value to your viewers. Continue this cycle, consistently improving at each iteration, and you are guaranteed to succeed. Once you have grown your audience a bit, you can focus on these 3 things. Creating a community so that you can interact more with your viewers and help solve their problems better. You can also outsource some of your most time-consuming tasks like editing, so you can spend more time on other higher ROI tasks such as brand deals and collaborations. Another thing to consider when you grow your channel is to not experiment as much as when you were just starting out. You now have a following and an audience looking for a certain style that they enjoy. You've done it. You've gained the knowledge to get started on YouTube, along with some advanced tips that can help you grow faster. And it's never been this easy to grow a channel on YouTube, whether you are just starting out or have thousands of subscribers. So check out this video to learn why you should start now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.